just quickly control it. Or better, let's say better, check it. If everything works. Perfect. So, this works. Jeremiah, welcome in. How are you doing? So, everything works now. Perfect. We are live. So, Sandra already told me she is good, as usual. So, for today's AMA, a little bit of, or let's say on the update side of things, right? Because there are quite some things that are happening or are happening at the moment going on. Now let me see that yes, it should be everything all right. Perfect. Everything is running smoothly. So for today's quick update, I will start with the fund. So we are still going to have the AVAX vote or poll in the future. Don't worry about this one. We should be, because we are doing this all together, right? Implementing the first part of private sale, crowd sale platform into the dashboard, which you will have the option, of course, here on the top next to the investors dashboard. If you didn't know it yet, this part here is like our own swap, right? It's just like Pancake Swap, but only for our own token. So it is very, very, very nice to use. Going back to the portfolio, so it will appear up here, right? I will forward something. Give me a second. I will forward something. Just quite interesting. Let me set it up in here. We can take a look at it together, honestly. So perfect. A little bit small. So as you can see, this is the dashboard. not in the current version, but this is the dashboard which we will have. And it will have this capital campaign section in it, right? So what we currently have, so as you can see, a lot was happening here. That's why I just dropped the file in. What you can see here are the different things. Now this is the basic layout. It's better this way, right? This is the basic layout. So as you can see, it basically looks the same as a, for example, pink sale, right? You can see what the goal is. For example, here in this test run, pledged of $50,000 goal. You can see the total backers of this money raising campaign. You can see the time left. You can back the project, etc. pp. You can see different sections here. For example, if you pledged $10 or more, if you pledge $100 or $1,000 or more, you might, this always depends on the project, but they are able to choose different sections of it. Now keep in mind, this is no pre-sale platform, right? This platform basically is for private sales, crowd sales, and if you take a look at this whole at this here, at this section of the document, you can see you can also have a charity campaign. So this one doesn't is not tied to a ERC20 contract, or let's say a smart contract in itself. But we thought it is a good idea if we implement something that we can implement charity campaigns as well. And there will be, which is missing out here now as addition for the charity part, you can think of a kind of charity feed, right? So basically this feed, we are able to list different charities, which we find interesting, right? Just as a, you could say, charity list of charities which we think are nice, right? So no cost, of course, involved in charity itself. But of course, if a project wants to, for example, start a crowdfunding campaign or something else, as for example a private sale, then we will charge you. Prices, well, sorry for that one. As I said before, have a very, very rough voice at the moment. Prices are not fixed yet, but this is the basic layout. We think, or but honestly, we think this is a very, very nice layout here. It looks very smooth. So this will be, now let me swap over here. This will be as the capital campaign added into this section. And I'm looking forward, because we are currently working on it, to fix the chart, to fix the list down here, display wise, right? Because as you may have noticed, some things cannot be displayed at the moment, for example, Matic, Algorand, etc. Which really annoys me, like honestly, really, really annoys me. But I want everything to get fixed in one, let's say in one go. But the first update for the capital campaign, so for this one, will only include, because this is like the easiest part to include at first, the charity campaign and listing part, right? Pledging a campaign and all of that different stuff. Administrative dashboard is like you will never see it, but it is very, very important, because we need to also start up a dashboard just for the admins. So we are able to list and manage multiple campaigns, blacklist different stuff, etc. pp. So this will be very, very important. The next step, of course, will be the inclusion of the crowdfunding and the private sale campaign. As you can see, a lot has happened already, right? We have a lot already like finished up, but as you can see, it's not just a we will, or you will not only have the option to say, all right, we will have like 10,000 tokens, we will sell them for a price of, I don't know, we need to raise $20,000 with the 10,000 tokens, and here is it, you can buy it from here. As you can see, we want to give more options, like for example NFT collections, right, and all of that different stuff. So this is something we are currently working on. This is also why it takes sometimes a bit longer, right? You run into several issues, not only from the development side, also for the safety side, because you need to make sure everything is safe, etc., right? So this is kind of big, right? Kind of big. It's not a, we just do it on the side development. This is a lot to handle, especially since we decided to actually include the whole charity part, plus, as I said before, this is not listed here yet, plus a part in which we can simply list a charity in itself and just display the information. You can think of a mini social media account there for a particular charity, which has nothing to do with a charity campaign, right? So this is still missing in here, but we thought this is a good idea to implement as well. And of course, crowdfunding and private sale. So this is very nice. As you can also see here, just as an example for the crowdfunding, you will not only have the option as a project to just go to BD Capital campaign and list yourself there as you are, for example, on Pink Sale, right? You will always have to apply through one of our admins there, and you will always have to go through a vetting process. So this is kind of, yeah, you could say kind of special here. So we are not just blind listing, or let's take it the other way around. We are not just taking any project up there. Of course, we want to stay safe, especially if you touch the crowdfunding and the private sale part. We want to stay 100% safe, right? Like, it's hard to reach a 100% in crypto, honestly. But we want to make it as safe as possible. Because, as we are all aware, there are, for example, plenty of rug pulls launching through Pink Sale, for example, because it's not that they don't care, but they do not want to have all of this admin stuff being included there, right? So this is basically the main reason why it is so easy. Not even so easy, but why you have like zero problems to launch, for example, through Pink Sale, a BSC project which you intend to rug pull, right? There are no actual checks or any background work being done. So this is very, very interesting. This is kind of like this will go through this kind of work will go through to the completed launchpad in the future. So I said before, we will start with private sale, crowd sale first, and then we will develop further into a fully fledged out launchpad, which will be, now this is a very, very exciting part for the future as well, which will have a lot of different options to use, right? Not only for BD Capital, but we are working at the moment. I think I tried to tease a little bit of it, but we are working on a kind of umbrella. Yeah, you could say umbrella company, or a network of different people, different projects, different companies, which all work together to build a kind of a safe hub for people in which they can be like very, very sure everything they use there is safe, and everything which is getting launched, for example, through there is safe. Like this is the main intention. This will not only include a launchpad, this will include many, many different things. Like, of course, for a launchpad, you need a whole locking system, for example. You need to have a way to safely lock away, let's say, for example, 10 trillion banks for a certain amount of time for a launch. Or you could also have a token factory. Like, now I'm teasing a little bit, right? It's, if you ever snoop through Pink Sale, you have the option to create a token directly through Pink Sale, right? Now this is a token factory. Of course, we want to have it like even more fledged out, so people do not have to rely on anonymous devs, but you can basically build a token contract from scratch and can start working on your project, right? Because not every single dev team, for example, sometimes has a blockchain dev. So this is kind of very important. And this will be done in cooperation, of course. Now, there is where it gets really interesting, for example, through Beast. So the upcoming project there, Beast, we will implement also a lot of utility through Beast as well. Like independent from BD Capital project-wise, but then again, the whole background is of course connected. So you have a complete ecosystem with many, many, many different things to use in this ecosystem. It's still very young, still a lot of work to do. I think, like, honestly, the work will not get less, the work will get a lot more. But this is something we can like look forward to, right? I will just quickly pin this one. Poof. Just as a little update there from the development side. So this is very, very interesting, right? Just snoop through. It's not like super long, right? Just let's say the most important informations put together in here. But I think a very, very good update. And so that people can actually see a dude. He's not even in the AMA. All right. Well, this starts again. Sorry. So as you can see, this is a lot involved in this one, right? It's not just a simple private sale, crowd sale stuff, but we want to have like a lot covered in a very, very good way. So I can close this one for now. This kind of touches, of course, the main dashboard as well. But this is very, or will be very, very, very interesting. Like very interesting. I think it was always Sandra who used to say in this kind of market, because of course it's bleeding, like everything is bleeding. I think BNB is now at what, $285 per BNB. So this is rather low, like honestly, a rather low price at the moment with $285 per BNB. But of course, we can't change the entire market, right? We cannot change the segment. We do not want to burn through tremendous amounts of money doing a lot of, let's say, for example, marketing, because you will get burned. Like 90% of the time you will get burned in this current market situation. The overall buying pressure is lacking a lot. So this is basically the time to build the whole, yeah, you could say back end here, right? The backbone of a project. You want to add utility, you want to add a use case, you want to progress as a project over time. So this will be very, very, like, kind of very interesting. Let's say it honestly. Will get very interesting. I still don't think you need to worry, right? With anything, like in this current market situation. As I said in the last AMA, it could happen that it will dump a bit more, right? It will recover again. It is just in a consolidation stage at the moment, like honestly. Just rocking back and forth between different prices, which is totally fine. You will always face these times or these markets at some point. I would prefer a bull market as well, I can tell you. I would prefer that we would have launched, let's say, for example, around November, October last year, around this time. This is when a lot, like seriously, a lot of people have been jumping into like basically anything, which did drive a lot of projects a lot up, right? Of course, hard, but then again, do you need to have fear that we run away? Nah, of course not. Right, we are just here, as we said, or as I stated before, we will always be here, even if, for example, AJ and me, we're the last person standing. Yeah, we don't care. It's about the company, it's about the utility in the backbone and everything, right? We don't really care if we do this alone or not. So this is very, very important here. All right, so let's take a look, a quick scoop over the fund, because I already saw this in the chat, got answered quite well by Balboa, but also a very important thing to note here. Moon, as you can see, this was the first, I think the first ICO we ever invested in. I think we did invest back at the time like around $3,000, which is a lot for an ICO, honestly. We DCA'd more over time, which did bring us at a rough point of $4,000 to $5,000 overall investment there. As we can see, it's minus 100% here in Moon. The price is of course not showing because it cannot fetch the price. No, it did not get rugged, right? Very important here. It did not get rugged. Nice buy coming in here, 0.53 BNB, very good one. Very important here. It did not get rugged. All right, this is very important because I saw this in the chat already. Moon has been acquired by DOD. So DOD, it is called Day of Defeat, is a very, I think, Chinese heavy token and or project. You can check it out if you want. It's called Day of Defeat. But the team of Day of Defeat did acquire Moon because Day of Defeat as a project, this has a ending at some point, right? This project will end at a certain point. And they have acquired Moon. They want to have a token which is not ending at a certain point there. So the very good thing is the development of the actual DEX. So you can imagine something like Dextools, right? The development there was very, very, very far already. They started it right at launch, the development of the DEX. I saw quite some sneak peeks, and the team of DOD wants to build one of the biggest DEXs in China, like specifically China. They did very, very well already with DOD before, so they have the capability to do so. So I think, especially since the actual owner of Moon has some other issues as well. It's very hard, of course, as well in the bear market itself. and he thinks it's the best decision to hand everything over to Moon. So what they did, of course, they did set up a new contract. And they did take out the liquidity of Moon. This is why you have minus 100% there. And they did put this liquidity of Moon into the new contract. The new contract is called DOD base. It did like honestly pretty well for our fund, like honestly. It shows here minus 35%, but then keep in mind we did invest like around $4,000 into it. So this is a very, very good point to sit on in a bear market, right? A very good point, especially since I think the actual acquisition of DOD of Moon is like a lot in favor of Moon, like honestly, a lot in favor of Moon. So of course we will stick to it, like obviously. Obviously. But this is looking very nice. As we can also see here, Metarafi, which we invested in recently, this was the last investment before our cake investment. They are on kind of a run at the moment, 76% up after sitting in a big dip there. So very, very good here for the moment, right? Fund is looking smooth. Of course, a lot is missing in the fund, but I think we are totally fine from this side. So this is a quick update for the whole fund part. Also very important as well, right? Also very important here. Here as well, Meme Chain Capital. We never had a poll about Meme Chain Capital. I will just repeat this again because we have it recorded here for YouTube as well. This is a project of BlackRock. So BlackRock we invested in, I think it was the first investment we ever made in the fund. We cannot display it at the moment here. Obviously, this is why it's not showing up our BlackRock investment. But Meme Chain Capital was a airdrop of BlackRock directly. Now they did basically rework everything in Meme Chain Capital. I think it's now called Iron Inu or something. Still need to implement everything of Iron Inu. Of course, this also with not available now. This doesn't mean this got rugged, right? The only thing that it basically die off from all of our investments, this was our EarnHub investment. Yes, EarnHub it was. They experienced a hack in one of the staking pools. So basically they had a staking pool. You could stake all your EarnHub tokens to earn SafeMoon tokens. This pool, as they say, got compromised, and all the EarnHub tokens like got withdrawn off the pool directly and then sold off, basically rug pulling the project EarnHub. Did quite hurt back in the time, but of course you cannot avoid it. In crypto, EarnHub was a very big project as well. If it was really a hack issue, yeah, this is kind of bad, but you cannot avoid it. But like many times, right? We did lose like I think $3.5 grand there, like a lot of money in this investment. Like funny because we never I won't say we got rugged in EarnHub, right? A lot of people think it was a rug or a scam. I don't want to judge it. I will just call it a hack in the staking pool. But it's quite interesting that a project which was worth like multiple million of dollars in market cap, not only like 5 million or something like this, but a very, very big and well-known project, is the only project which actually got rugged in our fund. Like in a sad way, funny in a sad way. Like, let's say it this way, right? All right, but so here again, no, Moon did not get rugged. They just have a new contract, which is DOD base, or which is called DOD base now. So We got it from this side. But this is also like, as you can see, sometimes a very, very good way of, yeah, I would say, um, getting a good gain on your money. It always depends on the situation. But what we did back in Moon was they had a option to stake the tokens for, I think the gold staking was 90 days. We used the complete 90 days there, and this did gain us a bunch, like honestly a bunch, of Moon tokens, setting us in a very good space in the hold account there in Moon. So we are like totally fine with the DoD base tokens we own. And we will see how this will progress in the future. All right. So, what else do we have? From the fund, we are fine. Last topic I want to cover in today's like informational AMA. I don't want to like draw the YouTube video like way too long. People tend to not watch like very, very long YouTube videos a lot of times. But this is very important. So company registration, we got an update. I think I talked about it already last time. Now we need to check a lot more things in the background as well. But basically one of the, not problems, but issues we face at the moment is not the fund, which is surprising to us. It's not the fund because of the way we did set it up. But it is the BUSD rewards and like parts of the fund. It's also the fund yield. The main problem is as soon as we pay out money in any form, let's say for example BUSD rewards, the law says we are seen as a security. Being seen as a security would mean we would have the obligation, let's keep it this way. So basically we must, there's no way around, but we must KYC every single holder. It's just as if you would use an exchange, for example, right? An exchange will not exchange your BNBs, for example, into US dollars if you are not KYC'd with them. Most of the times you will not be able to use the actual exchange, but this is very important. So being seen as a security would bring us the obligation to KYC every single holder. So we already like found possible solutions for this one, but this is also a problem which takes and consumes a lot of time, honestly. Right? It's a lot of time and money involved there. The lawyers need to check everything, need to check the legal foundation, and this makes things kind of hard. So don't get us wrong here. We won't stop with the company registration. We just need to find a workaround for it. But this is also when AJ and me, so next week, AJ is on, you could say, kind of holidays. We have a long weekend again in Germany. I think the last long weekend for this year. It's like going from Thursday to Sunday, like this banking holidays, I think it's called in English. And after that, so the week after next week, we want to have a AMA dedicated only to company registration, in which we will also go over the documents they did send us from this company called now I even forgot their name. You see, my brain is mush already for today. From the lawyers, right? From the lawyers, the document they did send us, so we can go basically over it. I can't answer Jake, but just let me quickly write it. Update. All right. So very important here as well, company registration. Things are moving forward, but rather slow. It takes longer than we expected. So from the tech side and everything, we are like 100% safe, right? We checked out everything, checked out every possibility. So we are 100% safe from the tax side. Now, the main problem is, of course, that we are, yeah, not safe from the regulation side at the moment. Right? Don't confuse, for example, this company registration we do with BD Capital at the moment with the company registration we done with Beast. Right? This is a completely different thing. So for Beast, what we did do is basically just filing for an LLC. Sorry, now with all this short thing, short names here in English, it's sometimes kind of hard for me. But we did file for an LLC, which is no problem at all, right? But this doesn't mean once we filed with an LLC and we have the company founded and everything. So Beast is, you could say, a registered company, right? But this doesn't mean that it is legally safe from the regulation side. It's just basically filed in the same way as 99% of the crypto projects out there do it, because we want a very fast way to be able to have access to exchange listings and stuff like this, right? So this is a completely different thing we're doing in Beast at the moment than we are doing in BD Capital. BD Capital is like a completely different thing. We want to be like 100% safe from the regulation side, from the tax side, and all of that things, and then build this very, very heavy foundation for altcoin crypto, right? Which will be a lot of favor for us, because at some point, let's not just say all of the world, but at some point, let's say for example Germany, they could say, ha, we don't like all of the scams going on in altcoin crypto, we will regulate it heavily, right? So they can do it. They will find a way to regulate it. Don't worry about this one. You might be still able to use it, but you might run into a lot of trouble to actually, for example, cashing out fiat money, which would make it like very, very uninteresting for a lot of people. So the overall buying pressure would be very, very low. But if you're safe from the regulation side, you're still open there, right? From the altcoin crypto side, even if you're regulated heavily, if you did it in the right way, you would have a very, very easy way of things. Now, I think I saw it also. Congress in North America is doing something with crypto. We will see what comes out of it. I heard now a lot of very, very strange things sometimes for my ears, but we will just see. Maybe I will have this implemented once it's done in another update AMA there from this side. All right, so we got like little bits of the company registration done for today. As I said before, we will focus on this in a whole AMA dedicated for it, because it sometimes is quite complicated from the whole law side and everything. Oh, give me a second. How is the launchpad going? You can see, as you can see, I just pinned it, the bankers campaign. As you can, well, wait, I will just open it. Give me a second, so we can look at it together again. So, as you can see, this is just as a quick overview for you people. This will be the first part, the private sale and the crowd sale platform here. As you can see, it's not only we want to hit a goal of, for example, $50,000 raised, and you will gain 10,000 tokens, like for example, like a normal pre-sale would go on. But for this, we want to give unique options, like for example, if you pledge more amounts of money, you could set as a actual project maybe some goodies for it. As you can see here, this $10 or more would include 10,000. As I said here, this is just as a test run here, Moon token, one NFT collection airdrop, 110,000 if you pledge $100. So we want to give different options, right? Don't confuse this, as I said before, with a pre-sale or something like this. This is completely different. This is either in the very early stage, if you want to structure a private sale for a token, honestly the easiest and safest way for both sides, not only dev team but also for the investor side, because you have this third party handling everything. And if the dev team is not fucking up, like in straight words, right? If the dev team is not fucking up, you have a very, very safe way of handling things. And you can also do everything in different tiers. So if someone pledges more money, you can choose a different tier for him. So this is kind of very, very interesting. Not only this, send us the money and you will receive the tokens, right? But a little bit more of a backbone behind it. This will also apply for the crowd sale platform. So one thing is the private sale. The other thing, firsthand, will be the crowdfunding. Like the same structure applied here, but this is for already existing projects. Let's say, for example, I will just take us as an example, right? So we as BD Capital, we want to raise money for a specific, let's say, development goal. So we want to launch our own, I don't know, exchange, but we are a already existing project. So the one option we have if we are sitting on the tokens is we could sell the tokens off, right? We could take the money straight out of liquidity. Now, if you need big amounts of money for development, and even if you're sitting on the tokens, like many times, you do not want to dump the tokens on the open market, right, on the chart, even if you need the money and you have the tokens, let's say collected from the tax, for example, right? Many times it would be impacting everything in a very, very negative way, like in a super negative way, honestly. If you would dump, let's say, $30,000 worth of tokens in a very, very short amount of time, right? This would not leave you in a very good position. So you could come to us, you could say, all right, I need to fund whatever development. Say, for example, in our case, we want to fund an exchange. We will hand out X amount of tokens. We can also structure it in different tiers if we want to pledge more or less money, or sorry, other way around, if people want to pledge more or less money, they are able to sell them on the, you could say, secondary market. It's like a pre-sale, but for already existing projects. This way, you are a lot safer. You do not need to dump the tokens as a dev team, right? This is like a very, very, very big bonus. And the other way around is you maybe gain more investors as well, right? Because you are, say, for example, through our platform, touching a different crowd. Now this crowdfunding and private sale platform, this will evolve into the Launchpad. As I said before, we do have charity also included. Now, charity is something which we will not earn a dime in. We are able to, for example, raise a charity campaign. This was, let's say, in our heads, because a lot of people asked us when the whole Ukraine thing started, why are we not just raising money as a community? We don't want to do this directly. Like, honestly, we don't want to touch any charity money and be responsible for it and then find the right charity. But this way you are able to just list a campaign, a safe campaign, a safe way to do it. Everything is on the blockchain and it would be like the safest option possible. Now this will be implemented directly with the first update. With this, we are still fighting with some, you could really say, security issues and some other stuff. We need to be 100% sure everything works. But with the first update, which is not very, very far away, it should be just a few days away, honestly. We will list all of this charity section. We did add something in the charity section, which will not get implemented right away because we are having more focus on the crowdfunding and everything. You will already see the crowdfunding and the private sale in the next update. Don't get us wrong here, but we cannot go live with it yet because we still have some, let's say, some minor and one or two major issues there as well with the security and layout and all of the different stuff, right, which you need to fix first. So the first update will bring everything live as, you could say, the main structure of BD Capital campaign into our dashboard. As you can see here, you will have it this way, set up this way here. portfolio, trade, rewards, capital campaign, all of the different stuff. And first we will implement the backbone, the main structure of everything, but first will be charity campaign implemented, because this is working already. We can just go live with it, right? We will not use it right now. If someone wants to use it, they can. They always can, for sure, no problem. We will check things out and then they can use it, but we ourselves, we do not want to use it like directly, right? So as we said before, this is just a little bonus. And with this, we want to tackle some major issues we have here. As we said before, we need to fix the chart, we need to fix the things we can display here. So a lot of things coming together, and there will be implemented most likely in here, right? In here should be just a few days. We will also move the servers, because as we notice, sometimes these servers are kind of slow. So you could say we did launch the dashboard and everything on kind of a test server at the moment. So we are also so all of these fake roses, something I will also get on in a second. So this is something we will also move in the next couple of days. So as it's not super far out, right? It is not super far out. Of course, the launchpad itself, like if you're talking about the fully fledged out launchpad, we are just not talking about a pre-sale option for projects, right? As you can see, we are putting in more thoughts, even into a what seems very simple as a private sale or or crowd sale, but we want to add different options as well, right? You need to be able to compete with other things. You need to be able to do it in the right way. And what is, of course, very, very interesting is, of course, for example, here, you can only apply for a private sale campaign, for example, right? You cannot just go through our dashboard as a project and simply list your project there as a private sale, as you are, for example, on Pink Sale. You will always have us in the admin dashboard. This is, of course, something which is happening in the background there. Here with the administrative dashboard, you will always have us and the admins of us checking everything out and trying to make 100% sure everything is running smoothly, right? Or is set up in a safe and smooth way for the investors. So this is us trying to make everything, you could say, in a safe way, right? Now, something I can also tease already. I will just tease it. Doesn't matter. It will be under the, you could say, umbrella, be the capital umbrella, right? But it will affect our, you could say, our project, of course, directly as well. We are also working on our own KYC option, right? Let's take, for example, Pink Sale. Don't get me wrong here. I do not want to talk anything bad about Pink Sale, but I'll just take it as an example because basically everyone does it this way. So you have Pink Sale, you do a KYC there as a project owner, for example. Most of the times you only record a video of yourself saying a certain set of words in a set. Like everything is given to you for the video. You need to say this sentence, you need to hold up your passport, for example. You need to send a photo in which you write this and this words and sentences on it, and then you will receive your KYC. Now, we think one of the main problems which are in this one is you can fake it very easily, because you can just, for example, simply pay someone or anything like this. And then, of course, in the end, you only, like honestly, you only have the passport data, which is oftentimes faked in a very, very easy way. So the way we want to tackle KYC is in a completely different way. There will be, I will just take this as an example, there will be different tiers of KYC. Now the standard tier, the lowest tier of KYC, will be the standard option you have in crypto at the moment, right? This is the standard option you have in crypto at the moment. The higher the tier, the more you dox yourself. Like honestly, a lot more involved to it, which will make not 100%, but like very, very, very sure that the person we have been talking to, the person that did send us the ID, for example, is 100% this person. So this will be very, very, very interesting as well. As I said before, just teasing it, but as you can see, there's a lot happening in the background, right? But of course, we want to also have the momentum of everything in a good direction as well. So I hope I could answer a lot of your questions there. As there was another one. What is Beast? This is the subfund project of BD Capital. Let's not just call it subfund. It's a completely unique project. It's led by a completely unique team. We have, so AJ and me as the you can say main people in BD Capital. We have the advisory role there in Beast. Completely different things tackled there. 1 second. Sorry, needed to sneeze here. So completely different things tackled in Beast. Give me a second. Where is it? If I can find it. There it is. Let's just search it up this way. So, this basically, I can also drop it in here. I'm just stupid, I could just have dropped it in here. So this here. Ah! Now I see Chris did already drop it. Alright. But this is basically it's just a landing page right now for Beast. This is the, yeah, you could say sub fund which we are advising. We will receive in our fund a big team vesting for all of our advisory work there. So it is very, very interesting as well for BD Capital holders, right? Because one of the main issues is we need to boost our fund income. We need to boost our fund holdings overall, even in this debt market. We need to find ways around everything. And this is a way around we did come up with. So we are advising, we are putting all of our experience and everything to work here and are building this whole partner ecosystem. So you could think of this big umbrella network, which BD Capital is part of in the future, which will have a lot of different things in the making. You will have a most likely a token factory. You will have a KYC system, not only a KYC system for project owners, but also, because this is something which will be needed a lot more. Some projects are doing this already, but also a KYC system for customers of the decentralized side of things, right? Not of projects which are listed on exchanges anyways, but for projects which may need a KYC themselves, right? Because of regulation. There are a lot of projects out there which need it, and you can jump in as a company. You can KYC the customer. All of the private data is of course safe, unless they need it for any governmental stuff or anything. And you will have a KYC a KYC wallet for the blockchain. So this is basically a lot of things coming together here. We want to have this big network of different projects partnering up, building a complete ecosystem there as well, right? Not only with the launchpad. Of course, launchpad is not only a launchpad in the back of our heads. There's a lot more attached to it, right? A lot more, which we cannot share yet, say unluckily. But you will get all of this information as well. Yes. I don't know when you joined the AMA. I got out some informations. Also like a little tiny drip of information for the company registration. But we will have a AMA upcoming which is only dedicated to company registration. which is one of the main factors there for exchange listing of banks. But of course, yes, of course. Like honestly, I would never do it a exchange listing right now in this market, because you will also lack a lot of buy pressure from this exchange listing as well. Of course, it will help in the long run, but then of course you want to see some immediate results with the listing as well, right? So this is something which we will tackle once the registration is there, and hopefully the market is recovering, like not like recovering in a very, very good way, right? So, but of course, yes, yes, we like exchanges, right? It brings a lot, like a ton of visibility to the people. Right now, of course, market is not looking very easy. As I said before, it's just consolidating at the moment. Don't get worried, because like a few days ago, BNB was, for example, at 320, and now it's at 200, I don't know, 83 at the moment. Yeah, don't worry about this one. It's just consolidating. It's jumping around on around a different or a certain floor level. It's just the way the market is at the moment. Right? Don't get too worried of the market itself. We in banks never saw a positive market. Now the market is really down, like honestly down. But of course, it will recover, honestly. Crypto will recover. That we can be very, very sure of. All right. Oh, to switch here. So we got this covered. 1 second. Oh, sorry. Needed to sneeze again. Like I said before, very, very rough voice at the moment. I'm just sneezing a lot at the moment. I think I need to take a warm bath. Otherwise, I might run into the chance of getting actually sick. So, do we have any additional questions at the moment? Anything which is maybe unclear? Said before, I don't want to have this ultra super long recording in YouTube. People tend to, this is something I was noticing, people tend to not like very long videos. Like initially they won't even click them. But then again, another very important AMA upcoming with the company registration. So keep your eyes out for this. And I think I got like some of the updates, a little bit of insight there with this little PDF I could share already for, yeah, could say Bankers campaign. This is just what the PDF is called at the moment. But a little bit of insight there. So I think this looks very smooth, like from the first look of it. And this brings also a lot of different options there, which is very, very nice to have. Like very nice to have. Not do it in a very simple form, but attach some little twists to it, so people can choose, right? People like choices, honestly. All right. Can see something in the chat here. Can see something in YouTube chat there. So I will end today's AMA. The recording will be live like very, very soon after I close everything. So if you did miss like the start of the AMA, in which I did cover a bit of, yeah, basically the development stage, in which I did cover a lot for the fund, like some very important infos there for the fund. No, Moon did not get rugged. It's right now just called DOD, whatever, DOD base. So no, it did not get rugged. As you can see, we did also get airdropped everything from our Moon holdings, still sitting on a very good chunk of profit there from our Moon investment. So yeah, basically, if you did miss something, you can check out the YouTube video. Otherwise, thank you a lot for jumping in and keep it up. Don't get depressed by the market or anything. If you feel sad about it, close your phone. Like honestly, close your phone, close your wallet. Don't take a look at it and just enjoy your life, right? There's a lot of life besides crypto as well, which is always there. I know it sucks, but if the market is this way, just hold tight. Don't get too scared too fast. All right, people. How can I be depressed when everything is on sale? Now you already sound like like Robert Sancha. Robert is also like, I need this bear market to go on for a few more months. I need to buy more. But it's the right, like honestly, this is the right thing. Like seriously, you get a lot of stuff, like not only altcoin but also Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum. All of this stuff is on a heavy discount at the moment. So a lot of people are stockpiling, right? All right, but enough for today. Big thank you. Thank you for participating. Keep it up, bankers. And then we will hear each other again the next time. All right, people. Bye bye, and thank you all.